Oh, Blizzard, you cheeky little buggers. So, ladies and gentlemen, Blizzard have changed the over-the-shoulder pose for Tracer to a new over-the-shoulder pose, which is actually way better than the older one in every single way. Now, you may remember last week that Blizzard, well, Jeff Kaplan, who is the game's director, the big head honcho, the man who is running the development of Overwatch, and he replied to a forum post in which the OP said, "Oh, I don't like this Tracer pose. It's too sexual, blah, 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 blah," and all this crap. And he replied very quickly, which he has actually apologised for on the Chan Man show, which is like I think it's the Overcast. I've butchered the name. Overwatch cast. I don't know. It's a podcast anyway. He went on there, and this was the other day, and he said, "Look, it was a silly response. I shouldn't have done that," which is great. He should have said that. He actually came out with a more detailed response, which he did put on the forums, which he did a couple of hours after the whole Tracer bookgate or whatever you want to call it. But he didn't mean what it actually looked like he meant, which was I agree with what you're saying, Mr. OP. We will remove this pose because we don't like it in the game because it over-sexualizes Tracer, which is totally stupid because it's a game with like Widowmaker and Mercy doing the same thing. I mean, look at Widowmaker. Just look at Widowmaker. I mean, oh my god. Anyway, what they've done is they've replaced the over-the-shoulder pose with a new over-the-shoulder pose that is in fact inspired by 1930s, 1940s pin-up girls. This is like brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant because what they're doing is Tracer's arse is still slap bang in the middle of the screen. In fact, even more so. But Tracer is posed like this now, which I think looks way better. It looks much better. But why is this clever? Well, if you don't know about Tracer, Tracer's a pilot. That's what Tracer is. So to have Tracer in a pin-up pose, well, it makes sense. And it's still a nice, playful pose. It's not just some bland pose like, oh, I mean, if they turned Tracer around and had her facing forward or had her in some completely different pose, then yeah. But what they've done is they've given a big middle finger and said, no, look, we want this kind of style in our game, and this is what we're going to do, and we're going to give it you in the form of a pin-up poster. And then they basically type GG. In fact, I've got a GG button here. That's Blizzard, and that's what's happened. Ladies and gentlemen, I thought I'd just make this little update video because it made me laugh. Because they could have done one of two things, right? They could have just chickened away from the whole situation and thought, Jesus Christ, what have we done? We've stirred a massive, massive hive of horrific hornets of hate, and they're going to come for us. Or so we best actually remove this pose and put something else in that's more Tracer-like. In fact, what we can do is we can just leave that kind of pose there, but make it more Tracer in the way that we're going to actually turn it into a 1930s pin-up girl. So basically, this is, yeah, and then this, and then this. Play. Yeah. Well done, Blizzard. GG.